Okay, everybody, so what will you do tomorrow? If you're interested in changing your lifestyle, if you're interested in losing weight, follow the program. Walk, water, weigh yourself every day, and reduce sodium, sugars, and other carbohydrates. So I put together a few things that you may encounter tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, you have the choice of milk, very high in carbohydrates. So you don't have to count anything, but you just need to start to be aware that every serving of milk right on the container shows you 12 grams of carbohydrates. That's equivalent to one slice of wheat bread. So you can start to get more familiar with all of the different choices you have. Eggs, for an example, have 0 carbs. All protein, whether you're buying factory eggs or the farm fresh eggs. Right on the container, it tells you exactly what it is. Protein, a little bit of fat, some sodium, believe it or not, and no carbohydrates. So your choices would for breakfast rather than cereal. This is great cereal. I love it. I'm eating it right now. But the point is, it is very high in carbohydrates. 45 grams. You can't see it right there, but 45 grams of carbohydrates per serving in their serving, not your serving size. So your serving size is probably 2 or 3 times that. So instead of cereal and milk in the morning, these two things are things you want to try to substitute in the morning. Yes, you need the calcium, but I would suggest you start to work your way off of milk, get away from cereal, go to eggs for breakfast and 2 slices of wheat bread, and then you've only got 22 to 24 carbohydrates total for your breakfast. So, and then it doesn't count the butter, but butter is low in carbohydrates. So use real butter, don't use margarine. And you can use the white bread, but wheat bread is a little bit better for you unless you have a problem with the tolerance. And then for lunch, I would suggest you go to peanut butter. Peanut butter has 0 carbs. Okay, 0 carbs, all protein. 7 grams of protein, some fats. Don't worry about fats. The kind of fats in food is not what stores fat on your body. These fats go into your bloodstream, and your body needs fats. You need to stop eating diet foods. So you can use Chunky. This has honey in it. I've got a lot of different peanut butters in the cupboard, but this is brand new right here. This is right from Aldi's. These are from Aldi's. This is from Aldi's. These things, 0 carbs. Don't use Miracle Whip, but use real mayonnaise. Right on the container. So you need to start getting familiar with, you don't have to count anything really right now, just be aware of what you're eating, be aware less than 1 gram of carbohydrates in that. That has olive oil in it. This one, almost empty, carbohydrates 0. So these are your choices. Stay away from the ketchups and the barbecue sauces. I don't have ketchup in the house, but you need to stay away from ketchup. This has a tremendous amount. 10 grams of carbohydrates in barbecue sauce, whatever that is, organic barbecue sauce. And this has 17 grams of fat per serving. So it just gives you an idea as to what you're eating. So for lunch, I would suggest peanut butter, especially for snacks and lunch, and tuna. Tuna is also great, okay? So yeah, you've got a little bit of sodium in this, but those are some of the choices that I would recommend. Get away from the milk. You can eat cheese. 1 little square cube or 1 cube of cheese is 1 gram of carbohydrates. 1 cube, about that size, okay, is 1 gram of carbohydrates. So if you're going to count anything, keep track of that, or better yet, keep track of how many carbs you don't take in. But I don't suggest counting anything, but you have to be aware of what your choices are. You have to be aware of what the carb content is in these foods. So cereal, I'm eating this right now it's winter time, and our body's asking for more, fat stored on our body, which comes from carbohydrates. So I'm eating a little bit of that, and milk. But normally I don't drink too much milk normally. As a matter of fact, when I was in the weight loss portion, I didn't drink any milk. I just eliminated milk altogether. So hopefully that helps. The thing here is, what are you going to do tomorrow? You have to have a plan. Anyone that goes into tomorrow without some sort of a plan is kind of kidding themselves, because they're just going to continue to do the same things. That goes back to our habits. What are our habits? How do we change them? Okay, it takes like 21 days to make a new habit. It takes a little bit longer to undo old habits, because we revert back to the old habits. It's easy to go back to the old habits. It's all the psychology that we study, that Freud and Darwin and all those things, chasing the mice through the maze. They learn those patterns, we learn those patterns, and then it's hard to undo those patterns. I watched a video recently on somebody trying to learn how to ride a bicycle where the steering wheel, where the handlebars turn the bicycle the opposite direction that you're turning them. It's very, very difficult. It took a guy, I forget how many days, of constantly retraining himself and falling over before he got it right. So if you look for that video, the bicycle with the reverse steering wheel, it's just amazing how hard it is to break our habits and what we always want to do. So have a plan for tomorrow. Hope it helps, but start to study these containers. All of these containers have labels on for reasons, and we're supposed to read them. But the only thing you need to read, don't read anything except the carbohydrate content. That's all you have to read. And then just start to make better choices and substitute some things. For an example, the white bread or the wheat bread, substitute that for those big, heavy, dense bagels and those nice, juicy croissants, because those nice, flaky croissants are really high in carbs. And the bagels are really, really high. So get away from the bagels, get away from the croissants, just go back to basic bread, and stay away from any kind of food that's labeled diet. Do not eat diet things, and don't try to stay away from lean things. The words lean and the labels on foods that say diet, they're just, you're kidding yourself. I know somebody that she eats all of this stuff and she's bigger than ever. She's probably 500 pounds, maybe 450. She just keeps eating this stuff that is diet this, diet that, lean this, lean that. She's just killing herself. So you've got to do your own thinking. You've got to be smarter than what the advertisers want you to believe. And, they have really nice, fancy packaging. The heart on the box, heart healthy. Well, maybe it's heart healthy, but you're also pretty fat. So if you're watching this, you're fat and you want to lose weight. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching. So I'm not saying you're fat, but, I was fat, 300 pounds. So my friend, he's lost 14 pounds as of today, before he ate, but because he had some medical tests. But 14 pounds in 7 days. I asked him, what was your starting weight? He said 303. So I was 3 pounds away from 300, and he's 3 pounds away from 300 the other side. Now he's down under 300. He's trying to get down to 271 as his first target. And I know he's going to hit it. And then the thing is to stay on that target for a few days, get comfortable with fluctuating maybe a pound up or down, whatever. Get comfortable with that, is what I told him. And then, after maybe a couple of weeks at 271, then drop down to the next, start to work your way down to 5 pounds at a time or something like that. So it's really fun. He's having a fun time, I think. And it's always fun when you're losing weight and feeling better and getting into smaller clothes and your shoes fit. So plan for tomorrow. Try to start to understand carbohydrates. What is a carbohydrate? Find it on the label. Avoid them. Just try to reduce them as much as you can out of your daily routine. Have a great day.